फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की शुरुआत करते हुए रेडियो पर जॉन इब्राहिम, गौतम गंभीर और वरुण धवन ने मिलकर ये कहा।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं हूँ वरुण धवन।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं कहता हूँ बकवास बंद,
बदलाव शुरू।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का सबसे पहला इनिशिएटिव था नो MC, नो BC।
मैं जॉन इब्राहिम कहता हूँ,
मैं वरुण धवन भी ये वादा करता हूँ,
हम अपनी शहर की औरतों को जुबान से इज्जत देंगे,
यानी नो MC, नो BC।
उसके बाद मिशन तेजाब में कई एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स की जिंदगी का रुख बदल दिया।
हाय, मैं हूँ आमिर खान और फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स को एक नई जिंदगी दे रहा है। मैं इसका स्वागत करता हूँ।
मिशन जुर्रत में देश के सारे पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट्स को एक साथ मिलकर कहा।
नमस्कार, मैं अमिताभ बच्चन बोल रहा हूँ। दिल्ली, बेंगलोर, कोलकाता और मुंबई पुलिस को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं मैं देना चाह रहा हूँ। आप फीवर 104 FM मिशन जुर्रत का हिस्सा बने। ये बदलाव की बहुत बड़ी शुरुआत है और मेरी शुभकामनाएं आपके साथ।
जब कश्मीर में फ्लड्स आए, लाखों की तादाद में खाने पीने की सामग्री कश्मीर भिजवाई। हमारी इस कोशिश के लिए मिशन कश्मीर ने जीता गोवा फेस्ट में प्रेस्टिजियस एबी अवार्ड।
मैं और आप मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का अगला प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करते हैं, ब्लड बैंक 104। ब्लड बैंक 104। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं जॉन इब्राहिम ये वादा करता हूँ कि इस शहर में जब भी होगी खून की दरकार, तैयार रहेगा फीवर 104।
और फिर ट्रैफिक जैम की वजह से नहीं जाए कोई जान, उसके लिए हमने शुरू की अपनी मुहिम एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं वरुण धवन बोल रहा हूँ।
हाय, मैं हूँ आलिया भट्ट।
जब भी एम्बुलेंस का सायरन सुनाई दे तो हो जाए लेफ्ट, क्योंकि एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
अब बकवास बंद, बदलाव शुरू।
एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट के साथ साथ फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने जिम्मा लिया ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट का और बनाया ग्रीन कॉरिडोर, जिसमें एयरपोर्ट से हॉस्पिटल का सफर जो घंटों का था उसे मिनटों का बना दिया। एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट का डंका सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान में नहीं बल्कि न्यूयॉर्क तक बजा। रेडियो के ऑस्कर कहे जाने वाले न्यूयॉर्क फेस्टिवल ने एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट इनिशिएटिव को 2 बार NYF अवार्ड से नवाजा। और फिर कैंसर सर्वाइवर्स की जिंदगी में बदलाव लाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ जुड़े युवराज सिंह।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ कैंसर सर्वाइवर की जिंदगी के बदलाव के लिए मैं युवराज सिंह तैयार हूँ। क्या आप तैयार हैं?
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने वोटिंग परसेंटेज में किया बदलाव अपनी मुहिम ईच वन खींच वन के साथ।
नमस्कार, मैं हूँ फीवर RJ अमिताभ बच्चन। चुनाव का माहौल बना हुआ और मैं तो कहूँगा कि ईच वन खींच वन। जब मैं भी वोटिंग करने जाऊंगा तो किसी को साथ खींच कर लेकर जाऊंगा।
इंडियन आर्मी के साथ मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने एक ऐसा जश्न मनाया जिसका शोर बॉर्डर पार पहुंचा।
मैं गौतम गंभीर।
मैं हूँ कर्नल VN थापर, कैप्टन विजयन थापर का फादर।
मैं हूँ मेजर गौरव आर्या।
फीवर FM के साथ मिलकर कहता हूँ,
इस कारगिल विजय दिवस मिलकर ऐसा जश्न मनाएंगे कि शोर
बॉर्डर पार पहुंचे। जय हिंद,
जय हिंद, जय हिंद, जय हिंद।
7 दिसंबर इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्स फ्लैग डे पर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ पूरे हिंदुस्तान ने मिलकर दिखाया अपना देश प्रेम।
मैं सिर्फ यही रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा सारे अपने फैंस से और लिसनर्स से, आप फेसबुक हो चाहे इंस्टाग्राम हो चाहे इवन ट्विटर हो, अगर आप अपना फ्रेम चेंज कर सकते हैं 7 दिसंबर को तो कहीं ना कहीं आप वो रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं आर्म फोर्सेस को।
दिल्ली की बिगड़ती हवा और पोल्यूशन से एनवायरनमेंट को बचाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज लेकर आया प्रोजेक्ट ग्रीन हार्ट्स, जहां हमने दिल्ली NCR में लगाए 1 लाख से भी ज्यादा पेड़।
आप पहले 1 या 2 पेड़ों से शुरुआत करो और कोशिश करो कि उन पेड़ों को अपने बच्चों की तरह बड़ा करो।
पुलवामा अटैक इस मुश्किल की घड़ी में पूरे देश को शहीदों के परिवार से जोड़ रही थी एक वेबसाइट, भारत के वीर। तो फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मिलकर सुपरस्टार अक्षय कुमार ने फीवर 104 FM पर DG CRPF से कहा।
हेलो डी साहब, शरद।
हाँ, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार। अक्षय भाई मेरे साथ दूसरी लाइन पे।
नमस्ते जी। मेरे लायक कोई भी सेवा हो, मैं बोला पूरा देश आपके साथ है इस वक्त। अभी आई हैव जस्ट सेंट 5 करोड़ रुपीस टू भारत के वीर फ्रॉम माय साइड।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने शुरू की मुहिम #सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक से ब्रेकअप।
मैं तो सभी दुकानदारों से आग्रह करूंगा, आप अपने दुकान पर हमेशा बोर्ड लगाते हैं, एक बोर्ड ये भी लगा दीजिए, कृपा करके हमसे प्लास्टिक की थैली की अपेक्षा न करें।
और फिर पहली बार देश के किसी मीडिया हाउस की पीठ थपथपाने के लिए देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने फीवर 104 FM के लिए ट्वीट किया। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के पिछले 5 सालों की ये तो बस एक छोटी सी झलक थी, लेकिन फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की टीम जॉन इब्राहिम के साथ कहती है, ये बस शुरुआत है, बदलाव अब भी बाकी है।
Well, this is the 100 Hours, 100 Stars, which is the longest non-stop tribute to COVID-19 fighters. And this is an effort, this is an initiative to raise maximum donations for PM CARES Fund, which is a national dedicated fund with the objective of dealing with distress and emergency situations like the one which we have at hand. The whole world is fighting it. And of course, if you want to make a donation, you can click on the link below, or you can scan the QR code. And once the window opens, you can proceed to continue. You fill in your details, fill in the amount you want to contribute, and well, make a change, help people. You know, and we're connecting with this 100 Hours, 100 Stars. We're connecting with so many artists from so many lines, so many walks of life, music artists, filmmakers, industrialists, politicians. And today I have this gorgeous woman in front of me. My gosh, it's not an easy introduction for Shweta Chaudhary. She is Mrs. Eco International 2018-19. I had to write all these things down. Mrs. India Earth 2017-18. She's an actor, entrepreneur, a social activist. She is the recipient of Mrs. Earth People's Choice Award, Queen of Queens, and Stree Astitva Award, Helen Keller Award are again few awards that she has got. Shweta, I was running out of pages, but you're not running out of awards. I saw the image of all the certificates and awards that you have. What a fantastic feat. Welcome to 100 Hours, 100 Stars.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for such a beautiful introduction. But believe me, you know, what I like about my all the achievements that where all the Indian women think, you know, now I don't have anything left to do. I got married, I have kids, now what? From that point, I started, and that makes me actually I feel proud about it. And like, you know, I was married in early age. And then I had 2 kids, and I was like one day sitting and thinking, now what? What next? I have to spend all my time just bringing up my kids and handling house and everything. And I was like, no, I need to do something. So Mrs. India happened, and after that, lot of things changed for me. And I'm happy to say that I could utilize that platform for, you know, many causes. And today I'm doing the same in this pandemic, COVID-19. So I'm really happy that I could get that platform to reach out to people.
You make it sound so simple, huh? That, oh my gosh, that just bringing up kids and doing household work was not enough. That in itself, you know, right now in quarantine, just doing my house chores, I don't know how to do it. You're raising a kid as well. And then you went ahead and won all these awards. You are very active when it comes to environment. You're doing so much. We are so proud of you that you have represented us on so many platforms. How does it feel? How do you live with such a burden of pride from other people?
You know, let me tell you something. Raising a kid and handling a house is not an easy job. And I said it like I just want, but believe me, it's not at all easy. You know, it's like raising kids. It's like you are handling a school in your house. You know, and now in this situation where kids, they don't have school, they cannot meet their friends, they cannot go out. It's like you have to be a mother, you have to be a teacher, you have to be a cook. And then you have to be their friends also, so they can share, you know, whatever they are going through. They can share all those things, because believe me, it's not easy for them also. We are looking at the TV, we are looking at the social media, and we are doing WhatsApping and discussing all these things. Oh my God, what is happening? But kids, they are away from all those things, and they are not able to share like what they are feeling. So it's very important in this situation to be their friends also. And at home, I feel like, you know, just like a mother, a wife, or a daughter-in-law. Nothing much. It's like
that's a lot. And to add to it, you're also the brand ambassador of Swachh Bharat Mission and Namami Gange as well. You have a lot going on. How many hours in a day do you have, Shweta? Be very honest.
So, Aditi, what I'm
24 hours. I'm sure you are sneaking in more hours there.
But I've been very fortunate that I'm sleeping a lot. You know, actually, because I'm saving lot of time on doing makeup and traveling and commuting. So that time I'm utilizing in sleeping. You know, and then yes, it's not easy to handle and to maintain yourself, your house, your kids without any help. So yes, it's not easy, but I'm sure like me there are thousands and lakhs of women who are handling their work also from home, you know, and their kids also, their husband also, elderly people also, they are at home. So I think we women are blessed with all kind of things, you know, we can handle everything.
That's true. That's one for the women, of course. But apart from sleeping, what else is your guilty pleasure right now? Any embarrassing, confidential story that you want to share with us? Something that you know you're enjoying too much?
Oh yes, it's confidential that I'm spending a lot of time in my pajamas. I'm spending a lot of time.
Half of India is with you. Half of India is with you. We don't want to get out of our pajamas and out of our couches right now.
You know what? This is something very special because when we women work, we don't get too much time to spend at home. We do everything, but we do that in those limited time. Okay, I have 25 minutes for this, I have 20 minutes for this, I have 15 minutes for this. In this, I'm just going with the flow, believe me, and it's okay to feel bad about it. It's okay to feel sad about it, you know, that I'm not able to do it, and I wanted to do so many things, but I'm not able to do, and I feel it's okay because it's pandemic. Come on, it's pandemic, you know, and you should feel bad about it, but at the same time, just don't hold on it. Come out of it. Talk to your loved one. Talk to your kids. Talk to your friends. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your relatives. And all this thing is like a learning thing, you know, for me. Because sometimes what happens, you want to call people, but you are trying to find that perfect time to call them.
Yes.
You know, and then there are like 3 days, 4 days. I wanted to call them, I could not call. But now, like, this 24 hours is perfect because we are at home, we are at our comfort level, and we want to reach out to people because we know that everybody is suffering in their own circle.
That's true. If right now you're not getting contacted by someone, that person definitely does not want to contact you. Get the hint right now. That's also, apart from this, I want to ask, you know, this is a time, of course, when people can connect with their loved ones. This is also a time when people can work on their dreams, on themselves. And I'm sure many women look up to you. Many women, you know, like you said, that many women think after marriage, that's when the slump hits, you know, like, oh my gosh, now I can't, you know, achieve much probably in pageants and fashion line. But you did. So if you could give one advice to people, if you could tell them one thing, what should they do?
Hi.
They always come in every conversation. The rest of the time,
you are with, I think, you are with two best people on the earth. Believe me.
That's true. That's with the best companions. Yes.
Yes. So, for me, people always ask me, like, what was your secret of success, or you know, how did you achieve it? I always tell them, I think perseverance and not letting your dream go, you know, it's just work on it. I never thought that I wanted to restart my career, but I never thought that I will reach, you know, wherever I am. Though there is still a lot to achieve, but it's just I wanted to do something without any expectation, and I think that works for me. I'm
losing your voice. I'm losing your voice and video in the middle. You would say, can we have this answer again? Sorry, when you said that there's a lot to achieve, what did you say after that?
So I said, like I feel proud whatever I have achieved, but still there are a lot to achieve. It's not like, I've achieved everything. It's just start, I feel. So I always say people that don't let go of your dream. Work on it, and people say कि okay now अब क्या करना है? So I like अब ही तो करना है, work on yourself, work on your health, work on what you're thinking, because thinking is the most important thing. I thought that okay, I want to do it, I worked on it, and I achieved it. So I don't like to make it, too complicated that you have to do this, you have to do this. It's like do whatever you want to do in your way, in simplest way.
But how can people start? I mean, like if there is a woman who's aspiring, what should be the first step towards achieving what you've achieved, or even a percentage of it? Like how to even start after marriage in beauty fashion, in beauty pageantry.
So Aditi, what helped me, like I don't want to say that, or I don't want that people should take it as body shaming or anything. But what helped me, and I started with that point that I wanted to be healthy. After having two pregnancy, and my third pregnancy was like I was completely on bed rest, and I was almost 94 kgs, and having with weight you get different kind of diseases, and I was going through that, and I wanted to get fit so that I can play with my kids, because what I saw that I was completely on bed rest. I was poking myself with needles because I had gestational diabetes and everything, and then after that I'm not able to hold my kid in my arms, and that was like, no, I have to get fit, and in that journey, that made me realize, no, I can do and I can achieve what I want, and that's how I became, from 94 to 56 kgs, and then I was just going through, and then see, in social activities, I was always active in social work and everything, so I just wanted to take it to next level, and I thought that if any platform give me a wider audience to listen what I want to see, what I am doing, and that's how I decided to participate in Mrs. India, and I won, which was also, I never thought that I'm competing to win it or anything. I just wanted to do something, and it happened.
Well, congratulations that it happened. And you also mentioned that you were always active socially, and you were very active on environmental front as well. Can you tell us a few things that you have done that you became the brand ambassador for Swachh Bharat Mission and Namami Gange as well? What all are you doing?
So for Swachh Bharat Mission, I'm thankful, and I really take pride in that I'm a brand ambassador for Swachh Bharat Mission by government, but I was active in all this thing from becoming, a Mrs. India, social work, and especially for mental health, because I had gone through all this thing during my pregnancy and having an miscarriage. I was going through all this thing, and I was always very aware of my surrounding, like what is happening, and I was already working on plastic bans and everything, and then I started working, Swachh Bharat Mission came, and I started doing all this thing, and I feel that I'm fortunate that I got recognized, because there are people who are doing more than me, and I really, really appreciate them, and I think it's not in the title, it's all about what you are doing. So I feel proud that I'm brand ambassador, but at the same time I appreciate people who are doing more than me, and they are yet to get their part of praises and everything.
So how can people? What do you think? How can everybody contribute towards environment? What are the few basic things we all can do?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
What would you say are the most basic things that we all can do for environment? The very basic efforts and contributions that we can make.
So my journey started from my home. Like I'll show you, I'm using these steel bottles, So when you become a mother, I would say, what helped me? Becoming a mother, becoming a housewife, when you're a mother, you start thinking for your kids that what best you can give to your kid or your upcoming generation. And that's how I started, bringing small changes, like no plastic boxes uses, no plastic bottles uses, no straw uses, because obviously with it's harming to environment as well as my kids' health also. And when my kids were growing up, I stopped using those diapers and everything. I started making cloth diapers, and yes, and these small changes made me realize that I should go beyond my home, society and everything.
That's actually a very good realization. When we realize that it's affecting us directly, that is when we can start making the littlest of changes. Like you made quite a few changes. You're using steel bottles, and of course you made diapers yourself. I don't even know how is it possible. Are you making even face masks yourself at home?
So right now I'm not making face masks because I'm at my mother's house and everything is in my house. But yes, there are self-help groups in Nasik which I'm supporting, from last 2 years. Earlier they were making, cloth bags. Now at this moment they are making masks, and the good thing with that they are earning money also, because the situation is very bad right now. So it's helping them in two ways. They are getting that kind of contentment and peace that they are doing something for society, as well as they are earning money.
Making money as well.
Yes, there's work happening. I'm not in forefront, but somewhere I'm supporting them.
Now, Shweta, you live a life which is full of so many meaningful activities. I don't know if you ever find time to play around games. I'm sure you play games with your kids. So I thought, why not have some games here on the show as well? So I had a few questions for you. Have you played Name, Place, Animal thing? Remember, we would get one letter and a random letter, and the person has to come up with one name, one place, one animal, one thing.
Okay, let me try.
So I'll give you the letter, let's say B, and you have the time of 30 seconds. One name, one place, one animal, one thing with B, and your time starts now.
So you're giving me word B, or you're going to give it to me?
B. Yeah.
B for?
Ball. B for ball. I've already given you the thing. You cannot use ball.
Okay, Banaras. Place is Banaras because I'm born there. Banana because I love it. And what else?
Name and thing. Name, place, animal, and name and animal.
Name and animal. Birju, Pandit Birju Maharaj, my Kathak teacher. I take him as my Kathak teacher. And animal, bat. Right now, bat.
Very, very current. You're very current. I like it. You're very, and I like how very subtly you put in that. Oh, my teacher in dancing as well. So you're a dancer as well. You dance as well. I don't believe you that you just have 24 hours. But if you're saying, I will accept it. Okay. Have you played rock, paper, scissors?
Okay.
Rock beats scissor. Scissor beats paper, paper beats rock. Right?
Oh yes, I keep playing those games.
I know, I love this. So let's play it. Okay, on count of 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors. What have you got? Oh my God, we both got scissors. Okay. Best of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. I won this one. Last one. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh man, I want that.
We are on same track actually.
Very much on similar tracks, but since I beat you on one best of 3, I'm taking this game. I am just feeling happy that I won something. I mean, I'm very close to something with you. Okay, now I have to ask you, I have some trick questions for you. What do you think will be heavier, 1 kg of cotton or 1 kg of banana?
For me, I'll go with banana.
I like how much you like banana, but the correct answer is they're both the same weight, 1 kg, 1 kg. 1 kg cotton.
I thought I might get, banana after winning this because it's not easily available, yaar.
I know, right now we are all making a lot of sacrifices. Okay, I have one more question for you. How many months have 28 days? Right now we're not realizing how many days are in a month, but tell me, how many months have 28 days?
Only 1 month, and it comes out every year actually.
Every year, but every month has 28 days, Shweta.
It's a trick. You're playing tricks on me.
Good question. It has been lovely talking to you, but I want to ask you a few more things. Especially, what is the first thing you want to do after the lockdown is over?
There are people whom I keep meeting every month, and I really want to meet them, and I just want to, though I'm connected on the phone, but meeting them, it helps them to cope up with so many things, and I just hope they are all okay and they come out of this situation as winner and we can meet again.
Yes, of course. Our COVID-19 warriors as well. They're doing a lot. All the policemen, all the sanitation workers, all the doctors, everyone who is out there helping us in the essential services. And this 100 stars is actually an initiative to help them. This is the longest non-stop tribute to them. And of course, we are trying to generate funds for PM CARES Fund, which is a national fund and dedicated fund. People can make donations by clicking on the link or by scanning the QR code, and they can fill in their details when the window opens and of course choose the amount they want to contribute. And of course help all these people and help the nation and help ourselves. And my last question to you, is there any other award that you're eyeing right now? What is the next award you're going to win?
It's like something really big, but I hope one day I do such work that I get recognized and I get that, India's first citizen award, that is Padma Shri, But I know there are so many people who are doing their best and looking at their work. I'm nowhere, but maybe in future.
All the best. I do hope your wish comes true. Thank you so much for connecting with us. It was lovely.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for making me a part of this such a noble cause, and I'm happy that if I'll be able to contribute a bit also, I'll feel privileged that I could do something for the frontliners.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hi, this is Radio Kabachan Piyush from 107.2 FM Radio Nasha. Hope you guys are liking and enjoying 100 Hours, 100 Stars. The list is jam-packed with legends and superstars, so don't go anywhere. And if you happen to like what you see, then please like, share, subscribe and comment. Stay tuned.
Guys, welcome to 100 Hours, 100 Stars. Over the course of the next 100 hours, you're going to meet 100 superstars from various aspects of life, different walks of life. And really, this is our tribute to our medical health practitioners who are on the front line. On the screen, you'll see a QR code as well as a link. Just scan that QR code, click on that link, and fill in your payment details, how much donation you want to make, and then proceed to contribute, because this is really a good cause, the PM CARES Fund, the Prime Minister CARES Fund. And if you're a cricket fan, this man is the last word in batsmanship, Cheteshwar Pujara. I'm so happy to meet you as a fan. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. You know, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this. I just saw The Test, which is a series on Amazon. I don't know if you've seen this. This is about the Aussie team. Have you seen it?
Yeah, no, not yet, but I've been told about it. I've heard that they have done that documentary really well, and they've also spoken about the test series which we played in 2018 over there.
Now, you know why I need you to watch this is because you made every Indian fan so proud. There's one episode in that documentary which is just, most of it is just devoted to Cheteshwar Pujara. And, you know, people like JL, which is Justin Langer, Tim Payne, Nathan Lyon, all of them talked about your batting and how you just wore them down. And, you know, like they say, our chest expands as an Indian fan, and you must feel special. Even the sledging they have towards you is so respectful. Talk about that golden Australia run with those 3 centuries.
Well, it was a special series for all of us. It was first ever test victory for the Indian team on Australian soil. So it was a proud moment for all of us. And the way we started, I thought the first test match defined the series for us, because if you can win the first test match, if you can start off well, especially overseas, then you gain a lot of confidence. And especially in a 4 test match series, if you're 1-0 down as an opposition team, because this has happened to us in 2017 when Australia came to India and we lost the first test match at Pune. And to bounce back from there, that position was the toughest test series I've been ever part of. So we knew that once we won the first test match, we were in a commanding position and we can win the series. So yes, I mean, it was a collective effort. All of us enjoyed that series really well. And another important point about that series is our fast bowling, which has improved a lot. Those guys got us crucial wickets. So our fast bowlers, our spinners, our bowling lineup has improved a lot, and credit goes to them.
Would the 193 in Sydney be the most special one? I mean, you don't. I know you don't equate special innings with just runs, even though it was the heftiest. Would that be the most memorable, the 193?
For me, I think the first one was the most memorable one, 123, because at one point we were in trouble. We lost about 6 wickets, and then I had a partnership with Ashwin. So I felt that to put up a decent total in the first innings of a big test series was the most important part. And I managed to score 100 in that, and the score was around 123. And my individual score was around 123, and our Indian team's total was 250. So that is where everything started. That is where we gained the belief that if we can score 250, we can bowl them out under 250, and that is what happened. We got the lead of 15-20 runs, and then we started believing that we can beat these guys. We can put up a decent total again in the second innings. And we did that, and we won the first test match. So I think for me personally, 123 runs innings was the most memorable one.
Cheteshwar, who's your favorite batting partner? I mean, there have been some memorable partnership. Riddhi and Ridhiman and you had a memorable one. Jadeja and you have set a world record in first-class cricket. So your favorite partnership in batting, in tests in particular, what would that be?
There have been many. To single out one will be very difficult, but I would like to go with a big partnership with Riddhiman Saha at Ranchi in 2017. It was close to 200 runs partnership. The team was in trouble. We lost about 5 to 6 wickets when we were 250. The scoreboard was somewhere around 250. And if we were bowled out for say 300, 350, then we knew that Australians were very well prepared and they could score those runs. So we had to put up a decent total, and we had a big partnership, and our scoreboard at the end was close to 500. So that partnership I felt was a crucial one for that particular series, because that was one of the most intense test series I've played. Apart from that, another important partnership I would like to mention here is against Australia in the same series at Bangalore. So myself and Ajinkya Rahane, we put up a decent partnership in the second innings, which was again a match-winning partnership, I would call, because our bowlers bowled really well in the fourth innings. First innings, we didn't bat well. Australians had the lead when they put up a decent total in the first innings. So there was a lot of pressure on us to put up a decent total in the third innings, and my partnership with Ajinkya was very crucial one in that.
In India, would that Ranchi be one of the most memorable innings you've had thus far, that double hundred, amongst all the innings in India playing for the national side?
Yeah, if we are just comparing all the double hundreds, then yes, Ranchi one was special. The reason is it was against Australia. That wicket was tough to score runs. You can hang around. That wicket was such where if you can hang around, I mean, if you can defend well, you might not get out. But to score runs was difficult because the pitch was slow. So as a batsman, you had to work really hard, and I felt myself and Riddhiman also scored 100 in that match. So both of us had to really work hard to score our runs.
Cheteshwar, I find it very fascinating that you're giving back to the game while you're a player. The reason I say that is because most players think of doing that after retirement, like Dilip sir here, Dilip Vengsarkar. He started his academy after retirement. Kiran sir in Gujarat, Kiran More. It picked up pace after retirement. Likewise, Farun Lal in West Bengal. But I find that you supporting cricket in Rajkot with a ground and an academy there in your late mother's memory, with your father involved actively, is quite fascinating. And talk to me about the kids there. How are they shaping up?
So basically, it was my father's idea to start this academy. It was his dream to give back something to the game. And we have started this academy for the underprivileged kids who can't afford to pay their, whatever the charges are at the academy. So basically, we allow it's not just for the underprivileged, but the people who want to progress in their cricket. It's not just for the underprivileged, but we don't charge any person, whether he belongs to a poor family or to a rich family. Basically, that environment is to make them progress in their career, especially who wants to become a cricketer, professional cricketer, who wants to pursue his career as a professional cricketer. So my father has been coaching them since long time. And to become successful in this game, you need to have the right infrastructure. Because when I was growing up, when I was playing cricket, when I was young, I struggled to get the best of infrastructure. So my father thought that if someone wants to progress, they should have the best of facilities to practice and to learn their game. Because if they can practice on tough pitches, if they can play some matches on weekend, which will always help them become a better player. So that was the reason we started this academy, and we are providing them all the facilities we can.
Cheteshwar, all your hundreds have come at number 3, but there is one as an opening batsman. And I find that very fascinating. Would you recount that particular innings? It must hold a special place in your heart too, because normally the number 3 is just your zone.
Yes, it was a special one. I remember it was in 2015 against Sri Lanka. The series was 1-1, and I was playing in place of Murali Vijay, who got injured in that game. In the second test match. So I came in as an opener, and we were playing on a tough pitch. There was a lot of grass on it. Sri Lankan bowlers were doing a good job. They got first 3 wickets when we were just 8 or 10 runs. The scoreboard was somewhere around 8 to 10. And then I had a partnership with Amit Mishra, who came in at number 7. But it was a big partnership, and the main goal was to score as many runs as possible on a tough pitch. If we can get somewhere around 250, 300, then we knew that our bowlers will do the job for us. And we managed to score 300 in the first innings. And then we bowled them out, and we batted well again in second innings. And ultimately, we won the test match.
I have a very long name. It's Rishi Kesh, and it is contorted in many, many ways. Some people say Rishi, some people say Keshu, some people say Kesh, some people say Rishi K. Cheteshwar is a lovely, long, traditional name. And, Aussies in particular, they twist and contort names a lot. There's Binga and Gilly and this and that. What are the nicknames that you have been called by both foreign sides as well as Indian sides? You played for so many sides, whether it's KKR or Derby or Yorkshire or India. How has your name been contorted?
Well, it is very difficult for them to pronounce my name. Cheteshwar is not an easiest name to pronounce, especially for the foreign players. So they've found many nicknames. Chet is one. I mean, in my family, many family members and relatives call me Chintu. Then my teammates in the Indian team, they call me Puji. When I was playing for Yorkshire, one of the teammate found a name called Steve. So there have been many nicknames, but for me at the moment, Pooj or Puji uh, is the name which they have been calling me recently.
In the media, we are all very closely knit. We are very tight as journalists, just like you cricketers are. So, friends of mine like Manish Batavia, Vikram Sathe, Gaurav Kapoor, we always share stories, and I remember Manish telling me that your dad would not allow you to play dandiya as a kid, and Vikram mentioning to me that you were not allowed to play with a tennis ball. And I said, I have to ask Cheteshwar that. But I've also seen some wonderful visuals, I think, on YouTube of your dad playing so beautifully with your daughter. So he comes across as a very compassionate man now. But why was he strict on you on the tennis ball and the dandiya piece?
Yeah, I've been asking him that question because he has been very strict with me. But with my daughter, he's very liberal and he allows her to do whatever she wants. So I've asked him the same question. It wasn't about dandiya and all, but yeah, why was he strict with me and why not with my daughter? But yeah, all the grandparents are like that. So for me, I think when I asked him about why he didn't allow me to play with tennis ball, the reason was tennis ball has a different bounce. So what his theory was as a coach is it has variable bounce, and when you play with a proper cricket ball, it comes at a particular height. So tennis ball on a normal surface will have different bounce, and you will not develop a technique which is required to play with a proper cricket ball. So you might develop a wrong technique when you are growing up as a kid. And when you are a young kid, you want to make sure that you learn the right things and you learn this game the right way. So that was the reason he didn't allow me to play with tennis ball. And when it comes to dandiya, I think he wanted me to follow a nice routine. He didn't want me to stay awake at late night, because as a sports person, it is important to have right amount of sleep. Now we have research which says that 8 hours of sleep at a particular time over a period of time, like if you can sleep at say 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 o'clock every single day, your quality of sleep also improves, which also helps you to develop your concentration. So these are the reasons which he had, and I can definitely say that those were the right reasons for me to avoid those things.
This is a compliment to you. Ladies have started becoming very interested in cricket now after the IPL. So a lot of girls and friends ladies in my circle, when the list of handsome cricketers comes up, Cheteshwar Pujara is one of them, with the light eyes and the strapping build and things like that. But I've noticed your style quotient has improved since your early days to now. Would you ascribe that to your wife? Does she help you choose the threads for you to go to shoots in, or just hang out socially in, because your style quotient has really gone up over the years?
Yes, it has. And yes, I can definitely say that it's thanks to my wife, Pooja, who has been always helping me with that. Yes, I mean, you have to change with the time. When I was young, I wasn't very passionate or wasn't very fond of styling. And I just wanted to be in my own world, just play cricket and not worry about how I look. But yes, over a period of time, you need to have the right attire when you are going to a particular place. One needs to have the proper attire to be in that particular environment. So I've learned over a period of time, and that is definitely because of my wife, Pooja, who always helps me. She does most of my shopping. She helps me with my shopping. So yes, I mean, she's the one who gets the credit for this.
When people of your and my age were growing up, Tendulkar was always God, but, the trinity of Dravid, Lakshman and Ganguly in the middle order, was just remarkable. To you, amongst that trinity, who did you most model your game on? Of course, there is only one Cheteshwar Pujara, and you are so unique, and you're such a purist. But apart from Tendulkar, was it Dravid, Dada, or was it Lakshman?
For me, it was Rahul Dravid, whom I idolized. But when I was growing up, I always used to love watching Sachin Tendulkar, Sourav Ganguly, and Rahul Dravid. All three were my, I maybe can say those three were my idols. But yes, I mean, I've learned so many things from Rahul Bhai, who has been a very helpful person, not just as a player, because when I made my debut, he was playing, but even as a coach. I think when he started later on, once he retired, when he started coaching, or once he became a mentor, I think he has been really helpful because I've learned so many things from him. He's a great coach, a great mentor who guided me in so many different situations. And it's sometimes it's not just about the technique or the game, because you need to understand the situation. You just also need to understand the mental aspect of this game. And there are so many other issues which might arise in your mind as a cricketer, and you need proper guidance for that. And Rahul Bhai has always been there.
You know, there are cricketers who like to socialize, they like to party in their time off, and sure enough, why not? But you are always known as the man who is, you know, single-minded focus. You got blinkers on, the family man. You like to come back home to family, to your wife, to your daughter. But I believe your focus is so much dedication, that legend has it that once in England, you told your wife and daughter that, you know, stay in another room because I want to focus on my batting. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. The reason is, see, when you are playing for the Indian team, and when you want enough sleep, because when my daughter was young, she used to wake up at night, and it's not easy for my wife as well. I do understand, and I try and help her whenever I can when I'm not playing professional cricket. But when I'm playing for the Indian team, it is important to come back fresh the next morning. You don't want to stay awake at night even when your daughter wakes up. Because if it's an important day on the field for the team, I mean, you can't have the excuse that because my daughter was awake the whole night, I also had to stay awake. So you need to make sure that your family gets enough rest, but at the same time, being a professional cricketer, you need to sleep well.
The toughest bowler you have faced ever, Cheteshwar, somebody who's really challenged you, who would that be?
For me, when I made my debut in 2010, the following year we went to South Africa in 2011, and Dale Steyn and Moni Morkel, where both of them were at their peak, and I found that the toughest pair to deal with.
And you know, when you play these long innings, 1,000 balls, 500 balls, do you concentrate on your breath when you're just walking around, or you know, some players sing to themselves? You know, is there something that you do to center yourself in the moment in between balls?
For me,
if the ball is being bowled, you focus on the ball.
Yeah. For me, it's about having the blank mind, because if you want to focus for such a long time, thoughtless state is the best state, because the moment you start having too many thoughts, you start feeling tired, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. Because if you want to be in that zone, you just have to enjoy each and every moment and not worry about what is going around you. So you try and stay relaxed, at the same time not have too many thoughts.
Who's the most fun sledger in the opposing team, any opposing team, and the most fun sledger in the Indian team?
For the Indian team, I can definitely say either it's Shikhar Dhawan or Murali Vijay, because whenever they try sledging or they try doing something, I'm sure that the thing which they want to say, either they will laugh on themselves, because once they say something, they'll start laughing, because even the opposition player will understand that he's just trying to make fun and he's not able to sledge. So I think from the Indian team, it's Murali Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan. From the opposition team, there have been many players, so it's difficult for me to single out one.
You know, in Ranji Trophy, I remember in the semi-finals, I think it's the only time when, you know, they say Cheteshwar Pujara is a murti of sportsmanship. I mean, it's still in the rules. It's not against the rules, but you didn't walk off when you were dismissed against Karnataka. And I remember all over social media, it was like, you know, Pujara didn't walk off and this and that. What really happened at that time?
See, what I did was within the rules, and there have been many occasions where I've been given out where I didn't nick the ball, and no team has called me back. There have been instances where players have caught the ball with 1 bounce, like they haven't taken a clean catch and still had to walk off the field. So those are the moments where I felt that if I am given out when I wasn't, no one has called me back. So if umpire doesn't give me out, then I have the right to stay at the crease. and which is what I did, because ultimately you are trying to help your team win the game. Because even from the Karnataka team, there have been some instances in that particular game where some of the players were out and they didn't walk. So I thought that there's no point me walking off the field.
You're known as a PlayStation maestro. What's your favorite game? Would it be FIFA or tennis?
FIFA for sure. I love playing FIFA on PlayStation.
Lovely. Okay, last few questions. They're basically on the lockdown. What are you doing for fitness? Do you have a gym in the house, or do you just go in the compound? How do you manage that?
Yes, I have a gym at house. Luckily, when I was building this house, it's very difficult for me to move out in Rajkot and do my strength session, because people usually bother me for autographs and photographs, and it becomes difficult to focus on your strength session. So yes, I have a gym at home and I can still manage to do that.
And how good are your cooking skills? Are you helping in the kitchen with your wife?
I'm trying my best. I'm not very good at cooking, if I'm very honest. I can't cook, but I try and help my wife whenever I can.
Did some chopping and cleaning, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yes.
What are you doing for groceries? I mean, are you the designated person who goes out, or somebody brings it in or leaves it at the gate and then you bring it up and sanitize it once a week, twice a week? How is that happening, the supplies?
Occasionally we go and get it because most of the times you don't have all the help at home because of lockdown. So whenever possible, we try and get it. And sometimes I request someone who is going to get the groceries. We'll request them if they can get it for us, and they'll get it at our house.
A lot of cricketers are learning new skills in lockdown, Cheteshwar. You know, some people are saying that we've learned PowerPoint, we've learned a new software. Any new skill that in this phase that you've just picked up? Something new that you're doing?
No, not really. I don't get that much of time, because one thing I have to do is do my fitness every single day. Apart from that, you try and help your family with household stuff. I have a young daughter who likes to play throughout the day. So you want to be with her and try and make sure that you spend enough time with your family. So no, so far I haven't had the time to develop any skills.
Are you and the wife playing some badminton at home? I know you like to go and out.
Yes,
and play
we do. Yes, we do. So we have a garden at our home, and we play some badminton. We are missing playing badminton at a proper court. So we are playing badminton at our garden.
Are you going to get used to playing in stadiums without people? Because even after the lockdown is lifted, there's no guarantee that, hordes of people will be allowed in. I know it's a little difficult. You've already faced a little bit of that. Playing in front of empty stands, but then that might be the new
Yeah, as a professional sports person, sometimes the virus is such where you just have to manage with such instances where people are not allowed to come into the stadium. If they are, then it's great. I mean, you get the best of support in India. But sometimes you just have to manage it for your own safety and for people's safety. You just have to deal with it.
Last question. What kind of music are you listening to? Are you a Bollywood person, international person, dance music, soft ballads?
I love all the music, so I try and balance it out. I have all the music. I like Bollywood music. I also like international English songs. I like dance music. So I try and mix it up because this is a time where you can enjoy your music the most. If you're in lockdown, when you're training, when you're with your kids, because my daughter also loves listening to music and she loves dancing. So yes, I mean, we enjoy the music at home.
Guys, 100 hours, 100 stars. Also, it's very important that you donate to the PM Cares Fund for our healthcare workers, our medical practitioners who are keeping us safe. One last time, you'll see a QR code or a link. You could click on the link, you could scan the QR code, fill in your payment details, how much you want to donate, and proceed to contribute to the Prime Minister's Cares Fund. Cheteshwar Pujara, what an honor to talk to you. Thank you for your time, your patience, your energy, and keep making us proud.
Cheers, Rishikesh.
Hello, this is RJ Mercy from Fever Chennai. Hope you all are enjoying 100 hours, 100 stars. The list is jam-packed with legends, performances and superstars. So if you like what you see, share, subscribe, comment and like Fever FM Official.
Hi everyone, this is Harsha. I work for an MNC here in Hyderabad. A big fan of Fever FM. RJ Mansa, you are the best. Thank you for entertaining us. I'm really enjoying this 100 hours, 100 stars carnival. One of its kind, amazing initiative, Fever FM. I know we are all in this together and we are all fighting our own battles, but what our COVID-19 warriors are doing is like amazing thing they are doing, and a huge salute to all of them. And this carnival is going to raise funds and we are going to donate it to PM Care Funds. And what more can you ask for? Entertainment, and entertainment for a cause is the best thing you can ever ask for. So I'm enjoying this. I hope you are too. Thanks for doing this, Fever FM. Love you. Bye.
अबे मोहब्बत है इसलिए जाने दिया, जिद होती तो बाहों में होती।
हिंदी सिनेमा जगत के दो चमकते सितारे अब उस आसमानी चादर में चमकेंगे। वो दो सितारे जिन्होंने पर्दे पर मोहब्बत की, हंसे, रोए, अब हमें उनकी जुदाई में ऊपर से सच में रोता देखेंगे। सिनेमा का पर्दा सूना और सफेद छोड़कर हमसे हमेशा के लिए रुखसत हो गए महानायक ऋषि कपूर और इरफान खान। पर जो लम्हे, जो यादें, जो अभिनय का छाप हमारे दिलों में छोड़कर आप दोनों गए हैं, वो न कभी मिटेगा और न कभी धुंधला होगा। आप दोनों की कला सिनेमा के आसमान पर सुनहरे सितारों सा चमकेगा। फीवर एफएम, रेडियो नशा और रेडियो वन की ओर से ऋषि कपूर और इरफान खान को हमारा सलाम। 100 आवर्स 100 स्टार्स आप दोनों के नाम।
हर इश्क का एक वक्त होता है, वो हमारा वक्त नहीं था, पर इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि वो इश्क नहीं था। मुझे अपने इश्क पे पूरा यकीन था, और जब इश्क के सामने खुदा झुक जाता है तो वक्त क्या है, उसे तो बदलना ही था।